me back Emily, who is a star of our podcast.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are here again with another episode of the podcast. And as I was gotten onto last time, and I see I can already feel her saying I'm supposed to say the post-session podcast. However, you are listening. You already know the name. You do not need to hear it again.
I mean, you named it. Say it.
No.
Well, it is your podcast. You can say whatever you want.
That's it.
However,
my podcast, my rules. So
it is the post-session podcast.
And today we are post-session with Emily.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm excited. You've been like the most fun. It's been awesome. Just you have this like fun like personality and like bubbliness. It's been great. I have absolutely enjoyed today. So we just wrapped up your session. How are we feeling?
Feeling great. More confident, definitely. I don't know, walking up, I was nervous, but also it was hard to be nervous with how hot it is. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already sweating. Here we go. Okay, it's fine.
We're over the heat, yeah.
Yeah, but once I came in, like, it was so just easygoing. Like, normally when I enter a space, like, my anxiety hits, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I, like, get real quiet, and I kind of figure out the space. But immediately I was like, oh, no, I'm comfortable here. This is great. So thank you for bringing a really nice atmosphere, because it's very nice in here.
Oh, I love that. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I always say, I know I can tell people are nervous when they come up the stairs, and it's mix of nerves and out of breath because it's hot and it's a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs.
But it's funny, I always just try to. Maybe it's just be so obnoxious that people don't have time to be nervous once you get here, where it's just like I'm just immediately just kind of talking shit and just, hey, we're doing this, we're having fun, and then it's so I can always tell if it's going to be a good day just by the way people come up. But yeah, I was excited because you come in with like the right attitude. It was good.
Thank you.
I can't take credit for it. Also, Rachel also brings some level.
I think I bring the crazy.
That's, you know what? I didn't say that. You said that. It's recorded forever now. It's on the podcast, so it's.
I mean, there's a certain level of crazy you got to have to be the hype girl, but I may overdo it just a little.
It's okay.
I mean,
I overdo things a little too much.
It's more fun that way.
Like,
is it even a thing anymore? I mean, it's like just it's sometimes you just need to bring the energy, I guess, and it's even if you do. A lot.
It breaks the ice. We're fine.
Right.
We're good.
Well, I think that sometimes too, like I couldn't imagine going somewhere with people. I was talking about this, I think on the last podcast. I talked about a little bit of like I couldn't imagine going somewhere to a photographer, especially in this environment, where it's this real quiet, reserved, or very just like being at different workshops and stuff. We've met so many photographers and people that are just amazing work, but the way that they interact with their clients makes me uncomfortable because they're so just. Okay, now we're going to do this.
They really do. They like whisper through the post. And it's a great calming atmosphere, but that's not us. No. We're very loud. We're very in your face.
I don't need ASMR.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm here for.
That's pretty much what it was, yeah. Well, and I mean, it's great. They did amazing work, great people, but that's just a different style. So.
Well, it's also, too, though, I think, and this is what's important, right? And I think that you would agree, having worked with us now, it's like when you do something like this, you want to do it with the people that you vibe with, right? And it's like you kind of play off of, I think that you sort of find people that match your energy, right? I think that seems to be kind of how you are. And this whole time you've just been right there with us and fun and laughing and joking. And when you do that, that's what makes it more of an experience.
Yeah. So. When I don't vibe with people, it just makes it so like uncomfortable. And I'm like, nope, just get me out of here.
Yep.
Can I go now? But no, this almost like, oh, we're done? It's over? Like y'all were saying, oh yeah, you don't realize how quick it goes. No, it went quick. And I was like, oh, okay, we're good. All good.
You just got to come back.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'll come back.
How do you feel now that, like, you've seen your images? Obviously, you were nervous coming up the stairs, but, good atmosphere and everything. But now that you've seen the images, how are we?
Oh, definitely, like, I feel more powerful. I was telling y'all that, like, like the insecurities with, like, my chest or, with, like, the little cellulite, whatever I have, it just, the lighting made it stand out in a better way. And it kind of flipped the way that I look at my body, and the flaws are there, but they can be beautiful and they can kind of blend into what I'm doing as long as it's done, tastefully and correctly. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. This is much better. So Thank you for that.
What was the biggest challenge to overcome? Maybe with just putting yourself out there to book the session. Like, what was it? Do you have something that was the main fear?
So I think I told y'all that I grew up kind of more in a conservative household, and so my fear was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be kind of less wardrobe that I'm used to. I'm used to kind of wearing oversized T-shirts and things, and not really like showing my body. I only just started wearing bikinis like a few years ago because that's just not what we grew up with, not what we did. And so I think it was just like oh my gosh, skimpy outfit. I don't know, if it's going to go over so well. And I'm like, what about the rolls? What about the this and that? And completely faded away. Like once I put on that sapphire blue, I was like, oh, no, this is it.
That was the perfect one for you.
That was the one. So I think that was kind of like the thing to overcome was like my conservative, like, oh, got to cover it up. And with this, I was like, it's okay. It's okay to show a little skin, Good. And I told y'all over the interview, like, ankles are acceptable. Show the ankles, we're fine.
It's okay.
Do you like wear lingerie ever like now?
Oh, it's very few, far between, and it's usually just for my husband. That is all. I've not ever worn it like to do any kind of photos or to like, sometimes people wear like lingerie like under jeans, like going out, and it looks fantastic on the ones that are doing it, wearing it with confidence. But I'm just like, I can't bring myself to do that, to wear it with jeans. I might do it later though. I mean, who knows? Because that was.
Probably gonna order
a couple. Hey, she told me where to get it. Yep. I can go get it now.
Amazon. No, it's funny you actually bring that up because I don't ever wear lingerie. It's just not. I mean, we have the business, of course, but I don't do it in normal life. But we had a date night back in the fall, and Justin's like, "Why aren't you ready yet?" And I'm like, "Well, we need to stop by the studio so I can grab my outfit." And he's like, why don't you just get it from the closet here?
What damn outfit you
got?
I'm like,
you come out of the studio? I have an idea. There's a skirt and a bodysuit I want to wear. We got to stop by the studio. And so we came here first, and I grabbed a black bodysuit, and I had it with a skirt, and I'm like, this is my outfit.
I made a TikTok about it, but it looked good. It wasn't like too
it was like a see-through long sleeve bodysuit, and I had a bra underneath it, so nothing's showing, but I mean, it works.
It was funny because she is like everything that like,
very conservative, was not allowed to do could not wear the short shorts, couldn't wear anything that showed my stomach.
I mean, you didn't go like anything. Like,
no, I never showed cleavage.
Like, this is like the most revealing thing that you
honestly
would have ever
I know.
worn.
Yes, but I mean, maybe 30 before I wore my first crop top. So yeah,
I think that was around. I started wearing crop tops maybe like 2 years ago, if that, and it was mainly like to the gym. But now I'm like starting to wear them with leggings and things. But that just kind of was interesting. Like when I used to dance and like have to put things under things, make sure I'm not showing too much, even in dance. Even though some of those outfits were like kind of revealing sometimes, you would like what we did was like doctor it up and like pinch it with the safety pin. Do what you got to do. So that was interesting confliction even back then. So
but it's I don't want to say it messes with you, but when you go so long being told like, hey, you can't wear that, and then when you're an adult, like, no, you can really wear whatever you want, you're an adult, make your own decision, but yet you're still like, oh, I'm not supposed to, I'm supposed to be covered. Right. So
exactly,
it's hard to break that mental barrier.
What was that like the first few times where you started really doing stuff out of your comfort zone?
It was kind of, I don't want to say scary. That's not the word. It was just kind of like, I was at the pool taking my cover up off, and I was kind of like holding the cover up sort of in front of myself, or like sitting down, and then I would like get in the pool real fast, or I would get in the ocean real fast. But then kind of once I started like getting more confident in it, I was like, oh no, and literally took a walk down the beach like just in the swimsuit. And I was like, this is fine, because everybody else was wearing the same exact thing. They're not looking at you. That's the thing, is like my brain is like, they're looking at you. Cover it up. They're looking at you. And no, they weren't. They were building sandcastles and jumping into the pool. They don't care.
I think that's one of the more interesting things. I hear people talk about it with, someone that's really trying to put themselves out there on social media and whatever, and there's always this fear. It's like, what are people going to think? And like, nobody's paying attention to what you're doing. Even on there, everybody's we're all so consumed with our own life and our own stuff, our own drama, our own traumas, problems, everything. And I can imagine like from, that where that there is that like, oh my gosh, what's going to be said, or what does somebody think, or, or is anybody even looking? Right. But especially when you go somewhere like that, it's got to be, you have to rewire your brain, I think, just because the truth is that they're
doing their own
stuff.
Yep. They're not looking. They're just like paying to their own mind. They're playing with their kids, or they're body surfing. I don't know. What do people do? What is that called when you're like trying to get the board to skimboarding the water? Skimboarding.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the name.
It's okay. I was going to say boogie board, and then I was like, oh, nope, skimboarding.
There's skimboarding. Yeah, those are cool. So those are fun.
I always wanted to do that. I'm too clumsy.
No. I've watched too many people wipe out. And I'm like, not a good idea.
No, I'll wear whatever in front of people, but like wiping out, making a fool out of myself in front of the group, that's
it's
different.
So different.
I'm going to be on TikTok somewhere with a video, and it's going to, have 80 million views, and it's going to be me busting my ass upside down.
That's how you go viral.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
definitely not the one. So, but I know, like with you had we kind of talked about this a little bit, but you had support from your husband back in the day before. I guess this was pre-husband. This was
This is
just
when we were
dating, fiance. Yeah, okay, dating. Okay.
So when we were dating, and like once you graduate, where I was dancing, once you graduate high school, that's kind of like it, unless you take it into college. And I wasn't taking it into college. It was something that was recreational. It was so much fun, and I loved my time, dancing and ballet, jazz, where I was. But once it was over, husband, boyfriend at the time was like, you should like keep active, like, keep yourself up and going. And I was like, okay. And so he had me join the gym that we're at now. And he was just kind of like walking me through some things. They offered like a free 3-day with a trainer, just to make sure that you got the right form, you're not hurting yourself. And so once I started doing that, I was like, oh, okay, this could be a good thing. So I did that a little bit, and I didn't really get super serious with it until I think maybe like more of my earlier 20s. And then he started powerlifting. So I was right alongside of him, and I was just kind of doing it to kind of fix my strength and just kind of do something with him that bonded us a little closer. And then once that started happening, my body started changing for the better. And I was noticing that like I wasn't getting winded as much. And, I was loving like how my body looked. So going from that to, my body changing from a stressful job situation. And then all of a sudden, I told you, I think I gained like 60 pounds in 2 months. Oof. That was rough because, once you're working out and doing the things and then something changes and you're still doing what you were doing, but now it's completely different and your environment is making things a lot harder. It's awful. And it makes you feel like, oh gosh, what happened? I was doing so well. Now what happened? But coming back from that, getting on my anxiety medication helped. I didn't even know that I had it until I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, because I was sort of reacting to a non-stressful situation, but in a flight or flight stage. And I was like, what is happening? Why am I reacting like this when it's not even that big of a deal? So I talked to my doctor, and he was like, this is happening a lot after COVID. People are figuring out I mentally need a little support here. So I got that going. Immediately dropped 5. And then my sister-in-law encouraged me, keep going to the gym, but let's get on Weight Watchers or something, be an accountability partner thing. Lost 20 to 30 after that. So I think it just spiraled, and then it kind of came back to where I needed it to be. But along the way, Kevin, my husband, was really supporting me, hey, it's okay, you're still beautiful. Do what you need to do to make you feel confident. And if I need to, help you in any way, let me know. So he, throughout the years, has kind of supported me in my confidence and how I see myself. Because, we're overly critical of everything that's us, but that's not what people see a lot of times. So
Yeah, I think that's true too. We were talking about this before. One of the more common phrases I hear, especially if you have a good spouse, which seems like you definitely do, but I hear is, it's like, I want to see myself the way my husband sees me, right? Because we don't look at it the same way that you do, right? You're picking out the things, the flaws, the things that you think are flaws, right? Or maybe you see something from somewhere else. You're like, well, I think that I might have that, so I don't like that. So of course, so you're kind of like this weird projecting thing. But when you have somebody that like really is there for you and understands you, and it's like they see you so different, which is what I love about the images from sessions, is that when you do that, you're actually seeing somebody else's perspective, because you don't get to see yourself look like that, right? You're not. I doubt you're in front of the mirror doing all of these poses. So it's like, but when you see that, it's you are starting to see that different perspective, right? But I love hearing somebody that has that support system there. I think and I think you would agree how crucial that probably is to getting you where you want to be.
Oh, for sure. Like, especially when they're doing it gently, not like in a hateful, like, ew, but in a like, hey, you seem like you're struggling with this. Let's do this together so that you don't feel like you're alone. And also I can be there if you need an extra like push, which is what, my husband and my sister-in-law both did. They're like, hey, know you're struggling with this a little bit, like you're with your weight. And it was kind of where I was working at the time. There was a lot of alcohol involved because I was working at a wine store, and, you have to taste it to be able to sell it, whatever. And so that added sugar with like, I had left a stressful job into one that wasn't so stressful, and everything just kind of caught up with me. And so they're like, just take a second, figure out what you can eat that's going to help your body, and then what you're eating that maybe you need to do a little bit more sporadically. So that support system was pretty much key to getting to where I'm back, not exactly where I want to be, but closer, much, much closer.
Well, when you talk about gaining like 60 pounds in, a couple of months, I mean, that's one of those things that
it's rough.
And it's interesting. And was that something where you didn't realize until you get like in front of a camera or you see like a photo and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that I got that, because it can happen. And when you're seeing yourself every day, you may not realize it.
Yes.
But seeing yourself from outside perspective or something, that's what I've heard most people say that really triggered. I know for me, when I've had like where I'm really stressed and I start to gain weight, I don't notice it. And then she'll do like a video or a behind the scenes video or something, and I go, yeah, okay, let's analyze last couple of months. What can I do differently or so.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I think for me it was, we had taken a family photo like in the mountains, and I was just in my Nike Timbos and a big t-shirt, but I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we need to get something going that's a little different than what I've been doing. And I was still, at this point, like not super stressed. I was working again at the wine store, so there was some sugar involved, but my stress level had kind of evened out. I was fully on my medication. And I think from there, like going to the gym, having that support, it just kind of worked for the better. And I finally got a grip on what was happening. So that picture kind of just spiraled it, and then I had my accountability. So
I think the support system's like the key for so much of it.
Well, and that could have went really sideways really fast too, because that's something that I hear. I mean, that's the support system that you have is phenomenal, but let's highlight the work you're putting in too, because the hardest thing in the world is to change a habit, especially when you're if you're not like in the best time, you're not having the best, maybe it is a work thing, maybe it's a whatever, right? All the circumstances aren't coming together for everything to be perfect and amazing. That's that's usually, weight gains through some of the harder times, or when you're stressed, or when you just are going through a life change. So to be able to still go through whatever you're doing and start making change in that same environment, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's hard in itself. It definitely is something that, I've seen a lot of people where whether it's weight gain or something, you go a little too far in one direction, and then you're like, well, fuck it. I'm just,
Yeah.
it is
what do
what
I do now?
yeah, and
Right.
I'm just, and then you just keep going that way.
Yeah.
Or you get depressed and then you're like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you seem like you have a different, like, you seem to have that ability to say, okay, well, I'm not where I want to be, so I need to do something about that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I try to have accountability for myself too, because I've realized also that like excess like sugar and things, it starts triggering more like anxiety attacks, more like bad thoughts for me and like for what my body needs. And it's obviously that's not for everybody, but for me, like excess sugar will do that. And so like kind of cutting that out, taking that medication, that also kind of got me in a better mindset to make sure that I'm okay, so that whenever I'm like wanting to take care of somebody else, I'm kind of more of like, my love language is a little bit of gift giving and acts of service. And so I noticed that like I'm better to help others if I myself am feeling good. So
we just talked about this a lot. I actually talk about this ad nauseum almost every day right now,
Yeah.
because it's something that I saw with her was the first time I really started paying attention to this. And our last podcast, she had said something. It's common phrase, but she said you can't pour from an empty cup. And I had always talked about the analogy when they told us at EMT school about like, hey, you're an EMT, your job isn't to be the hero and rush in. If something happens to you, then you can't help other people. You wait until the threat is been neutralized or the threat's over, then you treat these people. Otherwise, you go in and get yourself killed. You can't help anybody.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing, right? Where it's like, if you are not doing okay and you're struggling, you can't help people to the way that you want to be able to help.
Yeah.
Or you can't, take care of someone or whatever that is. And I would notice that with her.
I have a real problem of I will help and I will help and I will help and I love helping. It's amazing. I love doing it, but I deteriorate in the process.
Yeah.
And if I don't stop, I can't help others. But I also don't recognize when I get to that point, and it takes him calling me out. He's like, "Hey, go take a day." Like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, like the working out thing was interesting. So I know that you were doing, stuff where you were obviously doing physical activity, but like, did you ever do like gym work in that capacity before you started doing that with the husband?
Not really, no. A lot of my like working out was dance, because I was at the studio like 3 days a week, I think, and it was like, an hour at a time, and we were doing like high intense like dancing, trying to get our stamina up. And so I had never really felt like I needed to go to a gym setting. So it wasn't until I got out of that did I like even go and like try to pick up a dumbbell. And my fear was always like, oh, I'm going to get like too buff and, but my husband was like, you're going to lean out.
Yep.
That's not how that works. And I was very like, I had no idea what I was doing. So he was very good at like teaching me form, how to not hurt myself, like pick up a dumbbell this way, not this way. And so that beginning step was like really daunting. But then once I got through it, and it kind of became like a habit, and now I just don't feel like myself if I haven't at least gone to the gym once in the week. I usually go to like 2 to 3 days and stay about an hour and like focus on certain muscle groups, and then I walk out and it makes me feel more powerful, strong, like I can take on the rest of the week. It's just really good for my mind to kind of like focus on something else for a change.
Yeah, I didn't realize that how much of a mental clarity you get when you have a good workout and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm not the best at going 6 days a week because I value sleep. Sleep's amazing. I know you're looking at me like, he literally has to like get me out of bed and like, come on, we're going.
Yeah.
Gym day, let's go. But I didn't mean to laugh earlier, but when you said like, he's teaching you form and stuff, he's great. He taught me all that stuff too, but I did not want to be there, and I pretty much started crying my first day in the gym. Like, I don't want to do this.
She legitimately
I started
cried,
crying because, but now, I mean, it's been 2 years and
year and a half, maybe
2 years,
whatever it is.
But I mean, I still have my days I don't want to go, but I feel better when I go.
Yeah.
I try to tell everybody, I don't care who you are, I don't care what your age, you need to be in the gym.
Yeah.
You need to be in the gym.
Yeah.
All the science right now, behind like deterioration, you know, of age, is your muscles start to deteriorate the older you get. So it's like you need to build more muscle that keeps you from being frail, you know, when you hit 80.
Osteoporosis.
Right.
And
It's
all
a
the
thing.
All of that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like build while you can. And I hear that with females all the time. It's interesting you said that. That's literally, that was her too.
No,
She's
so
like,
I didn't want to
lift
get
weights
super
and
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because if I do, I'm going to be, and I'm like, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
Like,
I've
you're gonna be
realized after
fine.
2 years, I'm
Yeah.
I'm not muscular,
No.
so
Yeah.
But I can't recommend that enough for people because it's also, like I said, the mental aspect of that. Like if when you're depressed and you're having a hard time and you're struggling, I'm telling you, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. If you can't book a boudoir session, go to the
Go
gym.
to the gym.
And then like, and it's not, again, take out the you know, the physical aspect of it. Take out the like, oh, I'm trying to get jacked or I'm trying to like, no, like just
get
go
on a
do
treadmill
something.
and do something. Move your
Move
body.
your body.
Yeah.
Do something hard.
Yeah.
Do something difficult that you do not want to do because I mean.
Stair climber's my worst enemy, but I get on it because afterwards I'm like, that was awesome. I took that on. So
I definitely feel more powerful when I do a Stairmaster.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I learned the hard way that I am not built for that. This is back when I was 19. I'm 37 now, and so we were working at World Gym back when World Gym was still here, and I was preparing for the CPAT exam, CPAT for the fire department.
Yeah.
And I was working with this guy out at Shelton who was a captain of the fire department, and he would tell me about the test and all the things. Like, yep, this is what you got to do. It's real, you know. And he's like, you're going to put 80 pounds on you. You're going to stair climber 3.5 minutes. You're going to come off, and you'll do the rest of the stuff. They'll take off there's two 12 pounds that are one on each shoulder. They'll take those off, and you'll do the rest of it with just like a 50-pound weight vest or whatever it is. And so he kept telling me, he's like, it's all mental. It's just mental. I was like, cool. So I started going to the gym at World, and I would just go upstairs on the stair climber. And so I was like, well, okay, it's 3.5 minutes. So if I can do this for 13 minutes at a faster pace, then I'll be able to do this. And so I would do that. And I was struggling. I would die. I would get off at 13, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. So we get to the day of the actual test, and I had taken like 2 5-hour energy drinks or something. I was like, this will help. You know, you didn't know any better. And so this is like pre-YouTube being what it is now. And so, I got out there, and my heart was already just like beating 5,000 beats a minute or whatever. And so I get on there, and I remember they were like, okay, don't touch the rails, right? You're just walking. And so I got to, I'm going, and I've been on there for a while, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to breathe heavy. My heart's about to give out because of God knows how much energy drinks and caffeine I've taken. And I was like, all right, what am I at? And they were like, 25 seconds. I was like,
What is it about the Stairmaster that you're on it for 30 minutes and it's really only been 1 minute?
Yeah. No.
I legit, I was like, okay. And at that moment, I was not like, I can pass it now. Just I'm a better shape, but I also mentally am stronger. But at that point, I was like, well, I'm going to fail this. And I stayed on it just enough time. Time ran out. When I came off, my legs collapsed. I went straight to the ground. No. I was like, I'm trying to get up and get to the hose and do the hose pull. And I remember pulling the hose, and I got 50 feet or 50 yards, whatever it is, of the hose to me. And I got up to go to the next station, and the proctor was still standing there with his little stuff, and he wasn't moving. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, you go with me. Like, we're going to the next. And he was looking, and then there was still 50 more feet of hose to pull. I had just got to the coupling, and I was like, he goes, are you done? I was like, yeah, I think
I'm done.
I just walked off.
Yep.
I walked off because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, even that stair climber's a disaster.
Always.
I'm just proud I haven't tripped on it in public.
You literally will do that tomorrow.
I mean, I've tripped a little bit, but I haven't like fully like tumbled.
Off of the stairs.
I've thought about jumping up there behind you while you're on it, but then I was like, you're going to panic, and then we're both
I
going
would
to
panic.
fall, and then Planet
I would
Fitness is going to
panic,
kick us
yeah.
out or something. So
I can't get kicked
No
out
look
there.
alarm. No look alarm.
yeah. It went off on somebody the other day. They
Did it
set
really?
Yeah, they set it off. I mean,
Oh, man.
it's behind the thing. It
Yeah,
doesn't
they have
just
like a
go
little
off.
switch for it. I didn't know that. And I'm like, it's never went off the longest. I've heard it at other Planet Fitnesses, but
Yeah.
not this one. It's never
Yeah,
gone
I'm
off.
off.
And then they're like, oh, it's behind the counter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there and tell them to set it off when you get back there one day.
Do it.
Make sure there's nobody back there but you.
Oh, I would cry.
That would be
what
her.
did I do?
The amount of times
She
I've
would-
dropped weights and I'm like, please don't go. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. But literally, I'm like on a Smith machine and I like just drop it. And it didn't
It's
go
like the
off.
triggering, like, oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
right underneath it, but no. Yeah. Well, that was a weird spinoff. But
Well, I didn't mean to talk about the.
it's fitness. It's whatever. But I guess, as somebody who's dealt with anxiety and, body and weight and stuff like that, knowing what all you know now, if somebody was in your position, what would you say to them to keep pushing them and be that support for them and get them through?
Oh, that's a good.
Sorry, that was a deep one.
You're
I know,
good.
I
I'm
know.
good. I'm good. So, gotta think about that for a second, but probably take your time. You're not on somebody else's timeline. What your body and your soul needs is completely different from what somebody else needs. So if you're tracking not with somebody who's maybe losing it faster, it's not that you're failing. It's just that your body is taking its time to gather what it needs to keep going and to help you lose what you got to lose or get into the mindset where you need to be. And I always have to remind myself of that, even you are not on somebody else's timeline. And it takes dedication, hard work, and you got to stick with it. That's another thing, is just stick with it. If you're going to keep it, it's going to go slow. The longer it takes for your body to get where it needs to be, it means that you're going to build those habits that you need to stay at whatever goal weight, goal mindset that you have, because it really is about your habits. So I would just say, take your time, and if you need a rest day or a mental rest day, it's okay. It's fine. Yesterday, I needed a mental rest day. I was thinking about, I gotta go to the gym. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to sit and watch Bridgerton because I'm finally starting that.
You're just now starting? Sorry.
Yeah. Nope, you're good.
We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
We're not sideboarding again.
I'm behind.
It's okay. We'll talk about it later.
But my mind was just, I was just so tired, and I was like, I'm not going to have a good workout today if I physically make myself go right now. So I took a day, and today's a new day, and I feel more energized. I'm like, now I can go, because you never want to hurt yourself and then be out for weeks or months, whatever. No, just take care of yourself, take your time, and if you need that day to reset, then reset. Give yourself a little grace, because it's not black and white. And you've got to figure out what works for you, not what everybody else is doing.
I think that's great. A lot of people, I think they're always so caught up with, keeping up with the Joneses. I got to do what everybody else is doing. No, go your own pace, slow down. It's okay. Take a rest day. I think those are all great points.
Yeah, I mean, any of that stuff, it's just something where I've had to kind of learn that we're all different, right? The guy that I work out with, we're basically the same size. He's 10 years older than me, or not 10, 8. He's 8 years older than me. And, but some things he's stronger, some things I'm stronger, but he has so much more muscle.
Yeah.
And it's recovery for him, though, is a little bit slower right now. I'm, like I said, about 8 years behind, so I can still recover a little bit faster, but it's there's so much give and take, and it's same size, same stuff, same everything, but it's easier for him to build muscle. It's, a little bit easier for me to gain strength and get more recovery, but you just start to learn all these little differences, right? It's we're all different. Everybody is genetically different.
Right.
We're all, mentally different. Your body, it doesn't do things. We all have different things that keep that. Food, diet, medication, all
so
of
many
these
factors
things,
that
right?
go into it,
And it's I tell people, don't overthink it. The point is to, push yourself and do better. Try to, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, my goal is always, I think, just to try to get better, right? But at the same time, you're not C-bum. You're not trying to, unless you're in a bodybuilding competition and you're trying to step on stage and look like the best in the world, whether you're C-Bum or Arnold or whoever,
Olympias.
it's not, it's not that deep. you know, take a day, listen to your body. Your body's telling you what it needs.
Right.
Your body's probably going, hey, we overdid this for the last 3 or 4 days. Let's take one. You know?
You mean you're not supposed to have a leg day every day? I mean,
I've tried to tell you all about that.
I love leg days.
Yeah, my rest day was definitely like I had worked, I think, 3 doubles and then a half shift. And my body was just like,
no.
Just sit here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Just snuggle your dog for a second. I was like, that sounds great. I'm just going to cuddle my dog. So that's what I did. Again, I watched Bridgerton and I cuddled my dog. So,
I want to go cuddle with my cats.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Because he would attack me.
Yeah.
I have one cuddle cat and one.
I don't get you.
Yeah, they do. I love all that. I think that's important. I think it's important to, moderation of everything. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's like, with Instagram and hustle culture and all this stuff right now where it's like, work 120 hours a week and you never, I'm up at 4 and all this bullshit morning routine stuff. That's the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. Up at 4 doing this. There's like 35 things that you do supposedly between 4 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., know, and I'm like, that's no way to live. That's not life, right? So being able to some give and take. Hey, I need to push myself a little bit. I need to do this, but it's also like, hey, I'm going to get there. Just even small steps is still forward progress.
Exactly.
Right? They still add up.
Yeah.
So.
And I would rather get to where I'm getting, have my good habits, and read my body than like get there, celebrate, and then have it all like go away in a few months when you're like, oh well, now I'm just going to go back to eating how I was and we'll be fine. No. It's not how it works.
So do you feel like the session today helps? Like,
it does. Yeah. And it makes me, love my body more, want to move it more, want to try new things a little bit more, because I've been wanting to get out of my comfort zone for a while. Sometimes I can just kind of feel when I'm in a rut, and it just, my favorite things to do, I realize that I'm not really doing them because I'm just like, But once I kind of do something out of my comfort zone and I push myself just a hair, then I'm like, okay, I feel more like myself. So I think today kind of helped me feel more like myself in a very beautiful, classy way. And yeah, I'm glad that I signed up, that I did it. So
I'm glad you did it too.
Well, Emily, I appreciate you so much for coming in, for hanging out with us, sitting here doing a podcast with us for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to do this again if we ever get you back in the studio.
For sure.
We should do a podcast about Bridgerton.
I'll talk about it with you. I'm newbie, so you can just relive it through my eyes since I'm getting it firsthand.
Well, I think that's going to put a wrap on it for the day.
Yeah.
For anyone that's still listening, we appreciate you as always. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the support for all of our amazing clients. And tune in again. So,
Thank you.